welcome back to my channel. I'm Josette, and today we're going to be talking about product buildup and lint. This is one of the biggest issues when you have locs, and I'm on my second loc set. I had locs before. I grew them to like almost waist length. I know what not to do because I made all the mistakes already, and I do not plan on repeating them. If you just started a loc journey, or if you're already years or months into your loc journey, these tips will definitely apply to you, and hopefully you can take something from this video, take some tips, and have a healthier, more enjoyable loc journey. And also, of course, if you have not started your loc journey yet, but you're planning on starting soon, take these tips to heart and to mind as well, because it will just make your entire experience a lot easier. Let's get into the video. So a lot of times product buildup and lint go hand in hand. If you have product buildup, you probably have lint. If you have lint, you probably have product buildup. It's not always the case, but a lot of times they are connected to the methods that you use sleeping at night or the products that you use in your hair. But we will get into all of that in this video. I'm pretty sure we all know this one already, at least I hope and pray that we do, but no beeswax. I think this is more common for thicker locs, but I'm not just speaking to Microlocs, I'm speaking to everyone who has locs, because these definitely apply. So in case you're new to the loc community, beeswax basically attracts lint and dirt. Everything that you don't want to be in your hair, beeswax attracts. Avoid it at all costs. It's an outdated, I would say ancient way of starting and maintaining locs. Tip number 2, do regular ACV rinses. I cannot stress enough how effective apple cider vinegar is in a loc journey. It's something that I did not do in my first loc set. I think I did it maybe once, twice, I think once, and it's on my channel. But it's something that is so crucial to the health of not just the hair that's growing out of your scalp, not just the new fresh hair, but the hair that has been there, the hair that's at your ends, the hair that's in the middle. I would say to do regular ACV rinses either monthly, every 2 months, or every 3 months. I would not stretch it any longer than that, because you're just leaving room for product buildup to sneak in. So keep it on a regular schedule. Me personally, I do it every 3 months. As my hair gets longer and matures, I might see the need to do it more frequently. But for right now, I'm 14 months locked. That schedule really works for me. And since my hair is so short, I don't use a tub or anything to put my hair in. I just use a spray bottle and spray my hair and soak it with the ACV rinse, 2 parts ACV, 1 part water, a couple of drops of my essential oil of choice. It's either going to be tea tree oil or peppermint oil. I spray that all over my hair, let it soak for about 10 minutes, and I rinse it out and I do my regular shampoo regime. That works for me every 3 months, and my hair loves it. Apple cider vinegar gets rid of buildup. It melts away buildup. It's like magic. It restores shine and prevents breakage. So not only is it preventing product buildup, but it's also adding shine and it's strengthening your hair. The reason why is because ACV lowers the pH of your hair. So the ACV flattens and closes the cuticle, which results in shinier hair, smoother surface. It also allows your hair to become more moisturized. And I definitely noticed that every time I do an ACV rinse, my hair feels like I did a deep conditioning treatment. But do not do a deep conditioning treatment. Do an ACV rinse, because deep conditioning treatments are not for locked hair. They're for loose hair, because it's really hard to get thick products out of your locs once you put it in there. So ACV basically prevents the negative effects of alkaline. Alkaline is in most hair products, and so ACV counteracts that and balances the pH of your hair and also your scalp. It also stimulates hair growth through blood circulation. So what I like to do is do a nice little scalp massage when I have the ACV in my hair, and I can't even describe to you how refreshing and soothing it is. There are so many health benefits to ACV. Just Google it and you will see the long list of benefits that it has to your hair and your scalp. So unless you are allergic or something to apple cider vinegar, you have no excuse not to use it in your hair care regime. It's amazing. And if I had used it in my first Loc set, my hair would have been a lot healthier. I had a lot of product built up in lint in my first Loc set. Number 3, if you are using conditioner and you have starter locks, please stop. I really don't recommend it for starter locks. Even mature locks, I'm a bit on the fence about it. Now hear me out, because I know a lot of people who have locks use conditioner. My mom is one. She uses conditioner, but it's the way she uses it that's the key. She uses a very small amount and rinses it out thoroughly. That's the key. If it's not rinsed out thoroughly, it's just going to sit in your hair. It's going to weigh down your hair and cause product buildup because it's still sitting inside of your lock. So here's what I'm going to say about conditioner. If you are not 100% sure that you are going to be diligent enough to rinse it all out after you use it, skip it. And that's another thing that I don't understand. Well, I understand it. It depends on the conditioner you use and the quality of it. But if you're putting a conditioner to rinse it out all the way, you're most likely not going to get too many benefits compared to like if you're using castor oil or light oil that's actually going to stay in your hair is going to receive the benefits from it. But if you're putting in conditioner just to rinse it out, it doesn't really make sense depending on the conditioner that you're using. So that's another little side tip. Me personally, I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet. I'm not sure because I'm not fully locked yet. But when my locks are fully mature, I really don't know if I'm going to use conditioner or not. I'm just going to see how my hair does, how my hair progresses. But I'm honestly scared to use conditioner, and rightly so, because I used it in my first lock journey and it caused buildup. Now, of course, I did not have a really good hair care routine, so there are a lot of different factors going into it. I think if I were to use conditioner in the future, it would be when my hair was much longer, and so my ends would be dead, and maybe they would need that moisture. But I would use it very sparingly. I definitely won't be using conditioner anytime soon. Same thing goes for moisturizing shampoo. I don't recommend it in the starter lock phase. If you have sister locks, you already know this, but if you're doing DIY or something like that, yeah, it's not recommended to use a moisturizing shampoo. I definitely recommend to use a clarifying one, because a clarifying shampoo actually encourages the locking process because it's not melting anything, it's not detangling or any of that stuff. I think we're on tip number 4. Avoid heavy butters and thick conditioners altogether. You really don't need it. If you're going to use like something, excuse me, if you're going to use something that's like a leave-in, you want the leave-in effect, I definitely recommend doing your research and finding a water-based leave-in conditioner, something that's really light and slippery when you rub your fingers together with the product on it. Butters and thick conditioners are often used on loose natural hair to help with the detangling process. But as we know, we do not detangle our locks. We keep them tangled. The tangles are a good thing. So I would definitely stay away from butters, thick conditioners, thick creams. It has no benefit to your locks. It's going to cause buildup. It's going to cause lint. The same goes for heavy oils like castor oil, but I will say I do use castor oil on my locks. And I even use it on the length of my locks when my hair is feeling really dry. But the key is I use it very sparingly. I use maybe a dime size amount on damp hair throughout all of my head. So it's not a huge amount of oil that I'm putting on my hair. I would definitely say oil contributed to build up in the beginning because I was using so much of it. And castor oil is so thick, if you use a ton of it, it will attract lint and dust. Okay, so I think we're on tip number 5. I'm losing count here, but weekly check your locks for lint. This really doesn't take much time, maybe like 2 to 3 minutes, just to quickly go over your locks and see if you have any lint in there. You can also go like this, shake your hair out, go closer to like a mirror and just look around and see if you see any lint. There's also something that you can do before wash day, because water can kind of seal lint into your loc. So if you get it out while your hair is dry, it's much easier than trying to get loc out that's getting lint out of your locks that's already embedded in your locks. Okay, tip number 6. It's very important to wash your hair very thoroughly. I mentioned this a little bit earlier, but doing one wash is not going to cut it. You need to set time aside and really invest in your hair and cleaning your hair thoroughly. Think of your hair wash time as a hair reset button. Any products that you used, any gel, any conditioner, whatever you used in your hair, you want to get out and make your locks nice and fluffy and light again. So take the time to do 2 shampoos. 1 is not enough. I used to do 1 or 2 depending on how I was feeling with my first loc set, and now that I'm doing 2 washes consistently, my hair is so clean and free of buildup. Now I am early on in my journey, but I will continue to do 2 washes, and I guarantee that it's going to really contribute to the health of my hair. Also, the ACV rinses, like I mentioned, contribute to that as well. So the washing process plays a huge role in preventing buildup and lint. And I don't just mean a light little wash. I mean, so for your scalp, you want to use your fingertips. Do not use your nails. I know it's tempting. Use your fingertips, but do it very thoroughly. Just because you're using your fingertips doesn't mean you're not getting a deep clean. Use your fingertips, but apply a reasonable amount of pressure and use them to scrub your scalp. Also, for the lengths of your hair, really get in there. Get the soap through your locks and thoroughly rinse it all out. As long as you need to rinse all of that out, do it, because you don't want to have shampoo left in your hair. So the next tip is, you didn't do any of my previous tips and now you're dealing with lint. So I would say to very cautiously use tweezers. This is more common with thicker locks because you have a lot more space to use those tweezers and to avoid damage. With smaller locks, it's harder to avoid damage, but as long as you're very careful, you can use tweezers and go through your locks and take out the lint, especially if it's visible and it's bothering you. But use caution, be careful, and get someone to help you to get to the areas that you can't see. The next tip is use a microfiber towel to prevent lint. I used cotton towel as my first loc set and I got lint. So I definitely would use a microfiber towel. I've been using one since I big chopped and for all of my loc journey so far, and I think it's a great choice. It's very affordable. I have it linked down below in the description box, the one I use from Amazon. And microfiber towels will not cause any lint. So you've heard this before, but sleep on a satin pillowcase, wear a bonnet or some sort of scarf on your head. I can't wear bonnets, I find them really uncomfortable. So I have a satin pillowcase, and for my fresh retie times, I use a scarf. Another thing that I didn't realize in my first loc set was that the clothes I was wearing were causing lint. So like, for example, this, if my hair was longer, this might cause lint just because the fibers are really large and they don't really stay in place. But since my hair is short, it's not really touching that area, but like fluffy sweaters or scarves, things like that, it's better to find clothing that has like a closer knit and not like this cable knit effect, because you're more prone for the loose pieces of fabric to get into your hair. So it's definitely a good idea to apply all of these tips to your loc journey, whether you're already in it, you just started, or you're about to start. I promise it's going to be very, very helpful. And I'm giving you all these tips out of love because I've already made most of these mistakes, except for the beeswax one. And I know now that I have locks again how different my hair feels compared to in my first lock journey. So preventing lint is much easier than trying to get it out once it's there. So really try to put these into effect. And if you've been a loose natural, I know how tempting it is to use products in your locks, but I cannot say it enough, it's really not necessary for healthy hair. In a lock journey, less is more, simplicity is key. And that's my motto for my lock journey, is just being simple and proving that it doesn't have to be complicated. Even though, you know, especially Microlocs, it does require a lot of maintenance in terms of once the retightening time comes around, it's going to take a couple of hours or days to get your hair looking fresh again. But I think that locks are low maintenance in terms of you don't have to put a lot into it to get a lot back. I will always go by that less is more. Keeping things simple is a much better approach to a lock journey. So yeah, just apply these tips and these principles to your lock journey and you will reap the benefits of healthy hair. So that is it for this video. If you have any other tips, then definitely comment them down below. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram. And yeah, that was it. So I will see you in my next one. Bye!